Hi, I'm Shane with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at and we're going to be testing out Griot's Garage foaming surface wash on our black Prius that I have behind me. Foaming surface wash is going to spray onto your vehicle, creating a foam. That foam is going to pull those contaminants out of your vehicle or out of the paint while it sits, and they're going to get caught in that foam. So when you rinse your vehicle off, all those particles and everything fall onto the ground. Keep in mind that this solution is going to require a foam sprayer. Foam sprayer is sold separately, but it can be found here at etrailer.com. Now we're going to go ahead and mix our solution, or mix our wash, into our jug here. If you look on the side of the bottle, it's going to have measuring. Since we're using the foam sprayer, we're going to use 2 ounces, and if you notice, it goes in increments of 5. Right now, we're at about 35 ounces. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to about this edge here. We're going to mix it into our sprayer first. Once we got our solution, we're just going to fill our jug with water. A couple things I want to mention before we get started. You want to make sure when you wash your vehicle, it's cool outside, if possible. A lot of places you may not have that option. If you don't have that option, one thing I suggest is take your hose, spray the vehicle down, and let that body cool down as much as possible. Our vehicle here has not been washed in a year, so I really want to test out this Griot's foaming spray, the Touchless foaming spray, to see how well it's going to get that year's worth of dirt buildup off of that paint job. Now we're going to take our foam sprayer, we're going to hook it up to our nozzle. We're going to start at the bottom. We're going to work our way up to the top of the car, overlapping each one. Now if you remember, this car hasn't been washed in a year. We wanted to try out that foam sprayer, the Touchless spray, to see how much it would actually get off. And you can see it really didn't get a whole lot of the deeper stuff out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the car again, only we're going to use a pre-soaked foam spray, and then we're going to use a mitt to actually wash the car like a traditional style wash. Now for our deep cleaning, I'm going to try out the Brilliant Shine or Brilliant Finish car wash as my pre-soak, and I'm also going to mix it in my 5-gallon bucket to use it with my mitt when I actually hand wash the car. I'm going to start by using it because I can use it in my foam sprayer. Per their instructions, I'm going to take about 3 ounces. We're going to put this in first, and then I'll mix my water in. One thing that I will suggest is don't use your sprayer to spray down there, because what it's going to do is it's going to fill this whole thing up with foam, and you're only going to get about this much water. I should just take your sprayer off, run some water in it so that this mixes really well and you get as much water in this container as possible. So now we're going to go through our same steps. Again, feel the body. If it's warm to the touch or hot to the touch, you want to make sure you cool it down. So we'll spray it off, kind of cool that body down. So we don't want our solution to dry on it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way to the top. Now after you've let it sit for a couple minutes, we're just going to take our hose and we're going to rinse this off. Again, you want to make sure that this is not really drying on the paint. Now with our wash bucket, microfiber mitt, and our wash that we just used in our pre-foam, or pre-soak stage I should say. Now we're going to add about 1 ounce of this into our bucket. Make sure we get that good and mixed. With our microfiber mitt, we're going to have a side that we scrub with and a side that we wash with. I'm going to start with our wash side. It really doesn't matter what side you start with. I'm going to start with the wash side. See if I can't get some of that dirt off first, and then I'm going to flip it over to where I can scrub it after that. What I don't want to do is I don't want to scrub it if there is contaminants stuck in that, because I don't want it to scratch the car. So I'm going to try and get those out first. I'm going to rinse the car off first again. We're just going to start right down here and work our way up. So what I'm going to do, since the car is drying so fast, I'm gonna do parts of it. I'll do like quarters at a time. Get up to this door here. And then we'll rinse that off. Now I'm gonna flip it over and use the scrubbing side. Then we're going to repeat that same process around the rest of the vehicle. Now this is what our vehicle looks like after we did our two-stage washing. It's a good idea from here to put a wax on it. Griot's Garage is going to offer many different types of waxes. They have spray-on wax that you just spray on and wipe off. They have some that you put on with pads and you leave them sit. It's just going to be a matter of personal preference. What that wax is going to do, it's going to put a coating on your clear coat, not only bring out the color of the vehicle, but it's also going to put a coating on there so all that dirt and grime doesn't build up on there. It's just going to fall right off. Which brings me back to our foam spray. It's going to make using that foam spray, that touchless car wash, a much better option once you get to that stage. Now let's recap what we've learned today. Our foaming surface wash we attempted to use on our vehicle that we haven't washed in a year. It didn't quite do what we wanted it to. So then we tried the Brilliant Finish car wash. It can be using the same sprayer to give us that pre-soak. Then we can mix it in a bucket so we can scrub it down with our microfiber mitt to get that deep down built up dirt in the finish. That tells us this is going to be better for those vehicles that may only get washed once a year, but it's still going to give us that nice clean look. Whereas this is going to be for those vehicles that have had that deep down cleaning, waxing, to where we can maintain that look. These are just a few of the car care products that Griot's Garage offers. We're going to have many different options for your hands-on. We're going to have several different options for your touchless. We're going to have a few different options for your foam sprayers. For instance, we're also going to have one that hooks up to a power washer if you own an RV. You're tired of getting up on the ladder to wash the top side of your RV. Power washer is going to spray that foam up there to the top and allow you to stay off that ladder. It's going to make it much easier to clean. You can find any of those products here at etrailer.com.